And we're learning more today about a U.S. soldier charged with trying to support ISIS. The 34-year-old is a U.S. Army sergeant stationed in Hawaii who served in Iraq and Afghanistan. He was arrested over the weekend by the FBI on Saturday following a year-long undercover sting. Investigators said he was trying to provide material support to Islamic State extremists, including a drone aircraft and combat training instructions. CBS News Justice reporter Paula Reid joins me now from our Washington bureau. Paula, first, great reporting on this last night, and moving into today, have you had a chance to look through some of the court documents on the case, and what do they allege that Kang tried to do exactly?
This is one of the most detailed criminal complaints against an aspiring jihadist that I've ever seen. And Tony, it reveals that he has an extensive history of making threats to hurt or kill other service members dating back to 2011. In fact, his security clearance was briefly revoked until 2012 as a result of these threats. But he was not reported for investigation to the FBI until 2016. And during this investigation, he passed off classified documents to an undercover source who he believed would pass them on to ISIS. And they had a few conversations, he and this undercover source, that were very revealing. The undercover asked him, he said, "Are you with the U.S. Army or are you with ISIS?" Kang allegedly replied that he is with ISIS. He also gave him a hypothetical. He said, "If you had a choice, would you shoot a U.S. soldier or a member of ISIS?" He said, "I would shoot the U.S. soldier." On July 8th of this year, he swore his allegiance officially to ISIS and said he wanted to take his rifle and kill a bunch of people. He was arrested by an elite FBI SWAT team that same night.
Wow. And the material support he's alleged to have wanted to share with ISIS, did he share any of it? Did it actually get to ISIS? And also, what was the nature of it? Instruction manuals?
Exactly. There were several different things he wanted to provide them. And again, there's no indication that this actually made its way to ISIS. Everyone listed in the investigation is someone that he believed to be connected to ISIS, but was actually an undercover source or undercover informant. Among the things he wanted to give them, of course, those classified documents that he passed off. But then he also had a level 4 combat instructor certification. That's the highest level you can get in the military at that time. And he wanted to provide them with that training. So he would train people that he believed would share this with ISIS. He even videotaped some of these training sessions. You mentioned he also wanted to help them obtain a drone. Now, among the classified information was important information about U.S. operations in Afghanistan. So he was basically trying to give them everything he possibly could to help them in their fight overseas.
And do investigators believe he was acting alone, the lone wolf scenario yet again?
Exactly. The FBI prefers the term lone rat. But yes, there's no indication in this investigation, in the documents that I've read, that he was acting with anyone else. Everyone else he came into contact with was working as part of this investigation. The FBI says the public was never in danger. But Tony, I think we have to be a little skeptical about that, because I mean, if you were another U.S. soldier, would you want to be sleeping in a barracks with someone who believed that, quote, the United States is the only terrorist organization in the world and was a highly trained combat instructor with multiple weapons at his disposal? I mean, they say the general public wasn't at risk, but I think that's more they're trying to say, look, this was a sting. We had the situation under control. But I don't think you can seriously say this guy allegedly did not pose a risk to the United States.
And on the subject of allegedly, just one more question. Has Kang signaled whether he's going to accept or dispute the charges?
He waived his Miranda rights, and he did admit to some of it, though he denied passing off this information to ISIS. He said he believed he was passing it off to an NGO instead. But he did admit to some of this behavior. Now, they interviewed his father, and his father said that he had never spoken with him about ISIS or anything like that. His father is a Catholic, but said his son is now a member of the Muslim faith. Dad said he had no problem with that. He said there's good teachings of the Muslim faith and of course, the bad. And he said that he was hoping that his son would eventually teach him about the Quran.
All right, troubling story. Paula Reid, thank you very much.